Welcome to Elevated Women, the podcast where energetics meets strategy and wealth becomes who you are. I'm your host, Myra Swankotze, subconscious reprogramming master, energetics mentor, multi-seven-figure coach, and Brain's 500 global honoree for my work in conscious business leadership. This space is your portal, a frequency upgrade for the woman who's done shrinking and ready to claim everything she came for. Let's melt the old patterns, rewire your money story, and build a wildly aligned business from your highest self. This is your next evolution. Let's begin. You're listening to Elevated Table Talks. These are the unfiltered conversations with women who build from soul, scale with clarity, and move with purpose. Welcome back to Elevated Women. Today's Elevated Table Talk is going to expand the way you think about running your business. I'm joined by Linda Willow Roberts, the spiritual teacher, healer, and guide with more than 30 years of experience helping people activate abundance, strengthen their intuition, and live in alignment with their purpose. What I love about Linda's work is that she blends the mystical with the practical. She gives you tools you can actually apply in your business and in decision-making daily. Because whether you're writing content, launching a new offer, or choosing which path to take next, your intuition is one of the most powerful business assets you have. And when you pair that with manifestation tools, you start creating abundance in real time. Welcome, Linda. I am so excited to have you at Elevated Woman.
Oh, thank you, Myra, for having me. It's wonderful that we can help business people.
It is, isn't it? And it's wonderful that we can do it all across the globe. I love this.
I know.
Yeah, it's really amazing. If I think back to the years of my offline business, it was really in the city that you lived. Now we reach women globally, so it's amazing. I absolutely love it. Linda, let's get straight into the questions. You've been on this path for more than 30 years. I didn't even know about this stuff that long ago. So how has your spiritual journey shaped the way you approach business and leadership today?
A big change. When I started like 35 years ago, there was no spiritual teachers around, so it was really hard to know where to start. And I wanted to have a better life experience. So I started following Lillian Tu in Feng Shui, Louise Hay, Reiki. And so you just build up the modalities over the years and you just end up emptying out, making room for the new. And so it really helps you with your business because you're removing blocks and patterns. You're strengthening your energetic connection to the creator. And so you use that gut feeling, that intuition way like 100%. That's what you work with.
That sounds really amazing. Now, I do a little bit of energy work, nothing like you do. And I do manifestation work with my clients. And what you said there is so important, is making space for the new and connecting with the creator. It's very, very important. And I appreciate that you shared that. Okay, when did you first realize that intuition and spiritual alignment weren't just personal tools, but also business tools?
Well, it's a way of life. When you step into the practice, so when you're doing it, it actually becomes your way of life, and you actually start seeing the magic in the ordinary. You start seeing the synchronicities, the signs, and it just happens. Sometimes you have to get out of your head and back into your heart and really go into a space of just allowing and being. But then it's like a magic carpet ride. It just takes you from one synchronicity, opportunity to the next. And it's visual. You bring it down from the 5D down to the 3D.
Okay, so what you are actually saying is that it becomes a way of life, and therefore you start pulling it into your business.
It automatically happens. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, great. Um, I'm clarifying because for some women that listens, they might not understand that. Okay, so the next question is, so many women listening want to manifest more clients, income, and opportunities. What are some practical manifestation practices you've seen work in business?
Yeah, that's a real that's a big one. I'm a theatre instructor and practitioner and manifested for so many years, and it's the blocks and the patterns and the old consciousness that creates that reoccurring pattern of struggling. It's being worthy, knowing that you're able to receive, accepting your success, that you are worthy enough to receive that. So it's more about the blocks and the patterns that stop you from moving forward and getting those clients. And then asking, when you have got rid of those blocks and those patterns, is asking for the perfect clientele for you. It's really stepping into that space of owning your energy, owning your connection, and knowing that and feeling that the right people will come to you. It's divine timing. It will happen.
Okay, now there's some women that will say to you, but divine timing happens when I'm not necessarily ready. I want to call it in right now. Okay. Some of us don't know exactly how to wait for divine timing. So,
Yes.
but I do agree with you that the blocks that's holding us back has a huge impact. I see that in my clients and in myself. And it doesn't matter at which level we are, whether we are new or multiple six figures or seven figures or multiple seven-figure earners. Those blocks do tend to come back over and over again. How do you handle those? How do you help women with those?
Yeah, I have sessions available on my website and I go into a theta healing. I've done a lot of modalities. I found that theta is the glue that sticks it all together. Every modality that you do morphs into what it needs to be for you. So those people that resonate with you go to you. Those people that resonate with me go to me. And it's just the way that it is. And when we're working in a theta state, which is alpha beta theta. It's a mind state that I can go to within a second.
Mm.
We get rid of the bottom beliefs. We remove and we take away the bottom beliefs and then we replace them. It's not coming through me, it's coming from the creator. So in theta, we use seven planes of existence. And on the seventh plane is where the creator is. It's pure, unconditional love and pure healing energy. And the creator gives us a roadmap to go straight to what's blocking you so that we can remove that. So it doesn't come through me, it comes and it's a direct, clear energy reset for you. And it's just, people leave there and go, oh my God, I feel lighter in my body. Like after they've let go and released their blocks and patterns, and I do that for them. They're not in a meditative state. They can sit there and they can close their eyes, they can breathe, or they can open their eyes. And we just work through some of the belief systems that they have, and they walk out of there with different lives. It's beautiful.
I can I can imagine how deep you go. I do this kind of work, but from different modalities. And I've seen how wonderful the outcomes can be for people.
Yes.
I guess the question that I'm really trying to get to is, or the point that I'm really trying to get to here for our listeners is that when you said, I'm ready to call in the clients that need to work with me, is when they are at that level and they connect and they believe and they've let go of all of that, the blocks, and they're ready to call in those clients, that they also need to trust.
Absolutely. Let go. You've got to let go of the control. That's part of manifesting is when you have an idea, you take action steps, loaded and made room for the new. You've let go of your past. You're not a slave to that anymore. And then you step in and you wait. and it's really hard. I'm a Leo Sag, so patience for me is a really hard virtue to learn. But anyway, I'm getting there. But it is really trusting and having that faith, that 100% faith that that's what's going to follow. And you let go of the outcomes, the person, the place, the thing, because you need to step into the feeling and you need to let it go to the creator for the creator to bring in what is for your highest good. And sometimes letting go of control is really hard for us humans, but it's so beneficial.
Very hard, isn't it? It's something that I think every woman at every level of business struggles with. We always want to hold on and control everything.
I want everything and I want it now.
Yes, I
Yeah.
want everything and I want it right now. Yes, I've heard that so many times and I sometimes feel the same way. Okay, next question is what is the biggest mindset or energy block you see female entrepreneurs carry around money and abundance?
Yeah, look, it comes back to relationships. I've just brought out 2 courses. One's free. We'll talk about that at the end. But I brought out a new one called the Manifestation Flowchart course. That helps you get back into purpose, bring clarity. But there's a module in there that is relationships. You have a relationship with everything in your life, everything, your partner, your siblings, your parents, your money, your career, everything comes back to relationships. So if you're having problems in your external life with relationships, you can just about guarantee it's affecting your money. And because whatever's happening internally to us shows up externally. It's the old cliche, your internal light is the mirror, but it generally is around relationships and your relationships with money. It could be old conditioning. As a theta practitioner, whatever we can clear 7 generations in the past and 7 generations in the future. So whatever you clear for you, money-wise and relationship-wise, is going to help the generations that follow you. But it generally is your relationships that is the thing that you need to work on and has made the biggest difference with people doing the course.
I find many times it's also relationship with self is very, very strong.
True. It's your
And
awareness.
holds back, yeah, and holds back, yeah, holds
Mm.
women back tremendously. Thank
But
you for sharing. Oh,
that pattern, that worthiness and not able to receive, that could come from a belief from a teacher when you were young, a parent, or a past life. And you've just, you still have the obligation to accept that and you haven't finished out that contract.
now that you talk about that, I have a teacher. I have a teacher. And I have let go of it, but I don't ever forget it. And now I use it as fuel to move me forward. I had a typing teacher in high school. And for the listeners, I'm sure many of you have had a teacher. Mine was in that, high school, my typing teacher. And, we're not so young anymore. So those years back, there was no computers. It was those old green typewriters that you needed a 10-pound hammer to hit down a key.
True.
And of course, my fingers weren't strong enough for that. And I didn't even have enough um, inspiration to learn where the keys are on the keyboard because she just didn't inspire me. And my mindset already as a young teenage girl was to have my own business. I grew up in the business world. My father was a business owner. And I already worked with him in his business at that point. So typing was just a subject that was inside the group of subjects I needed to take.
Yes.
And becoming a typing teacher uh, or a secretary was definitely not my idea of my life was going to revolve around. But because I had no interest and I didn't want to learn, of course, when we had typing tests, I typed a bunch of gibberish. I always failed. And so one day she told me, I will never amount to anything and I will be a sad, pathetic housewife like my mother, and be dependent on a man for the rest of my life. And so, of course, every now and again, without without, I don't even know what the right word is. But you know,
Consciousness, because if you
yes, yes, there we go. That's the thing. Thank you. So without me noticing it consciously, subconsciously, this thing that she said would come back.
yes,
And it held me back for many years of my life until I learned to let go. And then everything in my business started working so brilliantly.
yes,
So yes, we need to let go of those that conditioning that a parent or a teacher has put you through. And I'm sure that there are plenty of women listening that has a teacher that did
oh,
that.
absolutely, absolutely.
Because I think in the olden days, and even today, I think teachers still do that. They don't realize the damage they're causing. So yes, that was, now that you spoke about it, I wanted to share my teacher's story.
No, look, I totally agree. I had a teacher that used to actually shape me. I think it was in
Oh
grade
no.
5, year 6, and it just she made me feel like, that I was the class dunce. I was, you know, don't even bother doing anything because, just don't. Like, and it really, held me back for a long time. But in theatre, we can actually remove that within like a minute, and let go. But it's the unraveling. Then something else might come up. So it
Yeah.
just starts that unraveling the twine or the ball, so that you can get to the next thing and the next thing, which is it's really amazing to get down to not the layers that really are underneath that has created a whole life of continual learning, the same message,
Mm.
the recurring patterns, and the different people will show up in your life, but they have the same attitude or the same things keep happening and you don't know why. And when you start releasing those things, then your vibrational frequency changes and then you get new experiences come in.
That's so important. And, I'm so happy that you shared that because I need the ladies that's listening in to realize how important what you just said is.
Yeah,
When you start believing in what you do and you unravel everything that's holding you back, you are not going to attract the wrong people anymore. You're not going to just have one person in your program. You're going to have every single person that needs to be in that program. If your program is limited to 5, you'll have 5. If your
true.
program is limited to 10, you'll have 10. Um, that is such an important thing that you've mentioned. So thank you so much for mentioning that. It really is amazing how life changes when we do the work, isn't it?
It's really magical. Like I said, the opportunities just flow in. I can remember years ago, I wrote 57,000 words. I thought it was going to be my first book, but it wasn't. There was another one. But it was my purging. And as I was doing it, I mean, there was really tough days, like really tough days. I'd cry then a couple of days later, I'd come back to it and I was just doing this big release. And then 3/4 of the way through it, opportunities started coming in, speaking engagements. I spoke at MBS festivals, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, all those things that opportunities start coming in and you just know it's because you've made room for them.
It's so, so powerful. And so thank you so much for sharing that because she's showing the ladies exactly how this starts happening.
Yes,
So yes, ladies, it's extremely important that you understand. I always talk about energy before strategy, and the energy brings the strategy to full circle.
absolutely.
You cannot have a business without one without the other. You need to have the energy and then the strategy, and your business will be successful. So they flow hand in hand. And if you don't have the energy part and you don't unravel all of this um, that Linda and I are talking about, the strategy alone is going to take you nowhere as well.
Yeah, I think that the outdated mindset is, and that we need to remind that your listeners, is that they are the asset, not the business,
No.
that they are the asset and they need the energy that you put into your business into them first.
Yes, it's very important because your clients don't buy your business. They don't buy your products. They don't buy your programs. They buy you. They buy
True.
your energy. So that is very important. Yes. Okay, next question is, do you have a process or exercise that helps entrepreneurs? Something you can share right now, to separate fear from intuitive guidance, because many times people get so stuck in their head, not necessarily just fear, but I'm a manifesting generator. And so I get lots of stuff downloaded to me all the time. And I find that other manifesting generators ask me this question often. How do I know what's mine and what is something else, somebody else's?
Yeah.
And and I always say to them, you need to listen to your intuition. So I want you to tell us, how can they separate either fear or the many downloads, many ideas, and many things that comes to them, um, from intuitive guidance? How can they see what is really being sent to them to guide and separate that? A
Yeah.
simple a simple exercise you can give them that they can do after the episode.
Yeah. Well, if the simplest thing would be book a theatre session, because when we're doing a theatre session, we actually give you the creator's definition and perception of what it's like for you to make decisions for yourself and close out obligations, and we also get you to detach and know and have discernment about what is yours and what is not. So that's the theatre thing straight up. That's where I'd go with that one. But to do it at home, for years, I just went, if there was an open door and an opportunity came in, the only thing that ever stops you from walking through that opportunity or that open door is fear and doubt. So I would say to myself, I release fear and doubt. But my faith in the creator is like 100%. So I know whatever I say is going to happen. But you also have got to feel it. Like it's like fake it until you make it. I know that. And people have said to me over the years that I have blind faith, and I don't. I have seeing faith because I actually see those magical things. But it's you having faith that I can release fear and doubt. Go towards it. Whatever you fear is either a lesson. Remember, every lesson that we have here on earth, this is what the planet's about, is about lessons, is a gift to you. So it's actually going to help your vibrational frequency by actually stepping in and stepping up and going for it. You know, I've got the I'm a Manifestor Magical Oracle cards, and one of the cards in there was self-love, and I developed them in 2017. And when I look at the meaning of self-love back in 2017, it was like bath, massage, balance in the giving, the receiving, and it was all fluffy stuff. And now self-love and getting rid of that fear and doubt is owning your gifts, your abilities, your wisdom, being the curse breaker, releasing all of that shit is what I'm going to say, that in there so that you can step into who you truly are and own it. And all it's getting out of your own way. That's all it is. It's getting out of your own way and knowing that you deserve whatever you're working towards because you are the asset. You are.
Definitely. That's so beautiful. And yes, it is amazing how it changed from 2017 to now.
I know.
How much more enlightened we are, isn't it?
Oh, everybody's on board. It's in the mainstream media. So where people, I had family members that had an intervention for me because they were like, this is we need you to come back to just being Linda instead of Linda Willow Roberts. And I said, you'd rather that person that was a bit mucked up and partying and doing stuff rather than this one that likes herself. And I just couldn't understand, that their thought processes, but it's about you liking you and becoming the best version of you. So whatever you do in that area of life is going to benefit you. There's no mistakes when you treat yourself like that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. You've called life a spiritual adventure, and I love how you say that, a spiritual adventure. It sounds amazing. How has embracing this mindset helped you handle risk and challenges in your own business?
Wow, being a spiritual adventurer, that's something that I didn't ever think that I was going to call. I have to say too, the first half of my life was not good. You know, I had a really yucky life. Everything I talk about and everything that I teach and have produced is out of the need for me to have changed my life, and it worked. So was always never had money. I went from job to job, but it was always in the business area. I'd go in and I'd get their business up and running, and then I'd move to the next one. But being a spiritual adventurer, I just have got to travel around the world by myself, private access into a lot of sacred sites, downloaded lots of ancient knowledge, and it's helped me because it's opened me up to any experience. And I always say to Holly said to me, my daughter, I used to say, show me something I've never seen before. But then I say, show me something I've never seen before with no harm to anybody. So you get a little bit specific on what you say. But business wise, learning from different people as well, like everything modality that I've learned from all different teachers. Even Reiki 1, 2, 3 and my masters, I learnt from different people, because the more you take yourself out of that box, is the easier it is to get that quantum learning, the quantum timeline leaps, that you go from this timeline to your vibrational frequency moves to the next one, and you just keep moving. It's like a video game. But having that, being able to go to the sacred sites and be a spiritual adventurer has opened my eyes. Things that I thought were just fables and didn't really happen, and they were just stories, aren't stories. They actually are real. And I've always been the sort of person that I needed to see something before it happens. Like, even when I did Reiki, I'd say, when am I going to feel something, or when's this going to happen? And I've done that everywhere I've gone. I've always gone, well, show me. And wow, haven't they showed me some wonderful things? And so that gives depth to your business. That gives depth to your speaking, because you've not just lived the hard life, you've actually got yourself out of it, done stacks of modalities to release stuff, and then opened yourself up. So that brings a depth to it. There's no BS. It is what it is. Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about that some more. I've got lots of questions, and if we don't get through all of them, that's fine because we're having a really good conversation here. Let's delve into that a little bit more. I find so often that women have so many modalities that they learn, but they're afraid to put them into practice. They feel that because I've learned it, I might not necessarily have mastered it in my own life. So, how can I help someone else? I get that question often. How would
Yeah.
you answer that?
Yeah, right. So first things first, they have to remember that when you do so many modalities, it does morph into what it needs to be for you, so that the clients that resonate with you come to you. I've done shows in New Zealand with two other ladies, and we've all stood on stage and we've read different people in the audience. I will read them. Karen has read them. Alyssa has read them. But because we all come from different places, and our vibrations are different with our different modalities, different people in the audience will hear different things. You haven't learnt your modalities for no reason. It's being of service. It's stepping into your life purpose. It's being what you're here on earth to do. And if you've been guided to do those modalities, you've been guided for a reason. And a lot of people that I've found is that they have the faith that they can heal somebody, but not the faith to heal themselves, and not the faith that they can do all of this for themselves. The other thing that comes up a lot is that they have to feel everything that their client feels, and that is not true. You can get straight from the creator, source, the universe, spirit, whatever words or whatever your thoughts go up to, and you can go directly from the universe to the person, and you don't need to feel that. That is only ego that you have to feel it, because you will get the knowing, and your trust in the creator bringing it straight through to them. So if you have a fear around bringing your modality out and healing people or helping them or whatever, find out why you don't feel worthy enough. It goes back to your relationships with yourself again. Why you don't feel worthy enough. Why you don't think that you can help anybody. What's stopping you from being that? Do you not feel good enough? There's all of those relationships the answers work. So that answer is, there's so many answers to that one question that
Question, yeah.
it could be anything.
And again, it could come back to your relationship, like you said, your relationship with self.
Yeah.
Your relationship with yourself is the thing that holds you back the most. And also, I find many times it's fear.
Yes.
Fear of the unknown, fear of putting myself out there. Um, so yes, thank you for sharing that. Um, Let me see which other questions I want to ask you. What is one lesson from your spiritual path that translates directly into running a profitable, sustainable business?
Yeah. Goes back to relationships. I just want to go back to that. I think that your audience really needs to know, like, with my business and with the confidence, it's the imposter syndrome. It really is. Like, done a lot of modalities. I know I've just kept saying that, but even, like, I've studied at Arthur Findlay College under Tony Stockwell in England, and even going there after I was certified medium, a Reiki master, and other things, I still went there and felt like I was an imposter. So I've never called myself or promoted my business where I hadn't studied for it. So that was a block to me. That was my mindset, that you have to have certifications and study before you could call any something. So it is that relationship and that imposter syndrome that you have to get past. Word of mouth. When you help people or when you work with people or you're providing a service, and you are coming from a heart-based, service energy, they will come in anyway, and it'll be word of mouth, because they will then go, this happened to me. I've healed a lady in Landsborough, wow, years ago, and I did a reading, and then I did a bit of a theta session with her, and what we worked on was her breath, and just holding her breath and being busy, and everybody, asking her for stuff, and she was a caretaker for everybody, but always overdoing it. And I went home, and I felt quite, we had a really good reading and a really good session. And I got an email a week later, and she said, I've been on a puffer because I've got asthma for 30 years, and I haven't needed to use that this week. And we didn't even work on asthma, but we worked on the belief system, even though I didn't know she had asthma. I didn't even go there. You just, whatever you work on, it unravels everything.
Yes,
And
it does, definitely.
yep, and recognizing, okay, I've got imposter syndrome. I don't feel I'm good enough, and your relationship with yourself and where that's come from, and that just turns the table for you.
What you just said is very powerful. I do a lot of timeline therapy work.
Yes.
And in timeline therapy, we we were taught, and I know it for a fact because I've done it, I've healed people, okay, that when you have negative beliefs around yourself, you create chronic disease in your body.
True.
And I had a young guy that came on with me on a Zoom call, and we did timeline therapy. And at the end of that call, he said to me, Myra, you just saved my life. Now, I don't often work with men. I normally work just with women. But every now and again, my husband sends me some of his male clients that I then work with. And he said to me, you really, literally just saved my life.
Beautiful.
I felt like something was in my brain killing me. And right now, it's completely gone.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And so, yes, ladies, when you listen to this episode, there are so many things that we are sharing today. I want to invite you to come and listen to this episode a few times because I promise you, every time you listen, you're going to get something different out of it. And yes, you create, when you unravel all of that, um, like you said, the self doubt, the imposter syndrome, and all of those things, you end up healing many health problems in the process. And the doctors could never have explained why. So
Holistic,
I love that. It's beautiful.
mind, body, and soul.
Definitely. Okay, so for the woman listening who's scaling to her next level, how can she use manifestation and intuition daily to support her growth? Now, when I'm asking this question, sorry, I know you're very excited about this one. I can just see it. What I really want here is something that they can take away from this. They know that they can go and book a call with you already, and I'm sure many of them will. Um, but something that you can give them that they can use now at home.
Yes. Well, I have a free course that's come out, which is the 5-day manifestation reset. It's on my website and you can do that. And, the people that are doing that, and it's free, the people that are doing that are actually doing it, then doing it again because it brings you back into purpose and
Um,
clarity and peace. So what you really need to do, you need to live deliberately. You need to actually have an action step that you do every day religiously. Spirit will turn up when you turn up. So it's actually making you aware and living deliberately every single day for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, not much time at all, but you showing up, you're sitting down, writing your gratitude list, writing your affirmation. I know that it's basic stuff that Louise Hay taught, 30, 40 years ago, but it still brings you into alignment. And gratitude takes you from lack to have. So it's really about you appreciating everything that's around you. And the course, the reset, the 5-day reset will help you come back into line and live on purpose. And it's a deliberate act from you to know that that's what you're going to do. Because it takes you to about thinking about the future and the past. It brings you in the now. It's having that curiosity. And when you're trying to create momentum, go for a walk somewhere you've never been before because you need that curiosity. You need to be in the now so that you're looking at everything to see the signs and intensities. If nothing's moving for me, I go to the gym and get on the treadmill. And luckily, my gym upstairs where the treadmills are looks out over the sea. So, I just go into the vast ocean of turquoise water, which is beautiful. But it's you actually taking a step towards for you. It's bringing your mind back into that curious, childlike, joyful, attitude phase. That's your sweet spot. That's the best place to manifest from, really is.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, you've answered one of my questions because, ladies, the program that Linda is talking about is there for you to go and grab. We will put the links to that program in the show notes so you will be able to get it there. So I'm not even going to ask her about that again. She jumped
Sorry.
ahead, no problem. And she was so excited. She's so excited to share it. So that's the right time to share it. Okay. Last question. If someone wants to bring more spiritual alignment into the. No, I've asked that one. Yes. Okay. So let's do something fun. I've asked all the
Okay.
questions that I wanted to, and we've had such a nice conversation. So let's do something really fun. I've got 6 questions I want to ask you.
Yep.
It's my rapid fire round that I do in almost every single guest episode. And I want you to answer the first thing that comes to heart when I ask that question. Okay.
Yep.
For those of you that can't see her, she's closed her eyes. Well, you're not going to see her. This is a voice only podcast. But Linda has closed her eyes, so I know that she's now really ready for this. Okay. The first one is, what does being an elevated woman mean to you right now?
Being authentic.
That is Just that one word?
Yes.
You know what? That is the most amazing answer I've had so far. I ask this of every woman, and I get so many different answers, and then every single person's answer is absolutely beautiful, but never just one word. It's the first time. And I so agree with you. You know, be authentic. That is what an elevated woman is. That's so powerful. Thank you. Okay, one daily practice that keeps you grounded and aligned in business. What
Yep.
is it for you?
Always, I always ask the Creator to fill every cell of my body with unconditional love.
Oh,
I do that. I do that morning and night, and any other
that's
time I
beautiful.
feel like.
Feel like it. That is beautiful. Okay, next one. The most abundant decision you have ever made in your business.
It's probably more in my personal life. I brought a Tats Lotto ticket, and I was very lucky.
Oh, that's great. What did you get?
Mm, First division,
Oh, that's great.
a lot of years ago, though. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But tell us, what did you do in business?
Spiritual. It was always my spiritual work. I did more modalities, traveled, wrote a book, Seven Acts of Me, Tale of a Spiritual Adventurer. I just spoke at lots of different places, did workshops, free workshops. So I just went into being on my spiritual pilgrimage. That's what I did.
Okay. So apart from the long answer, it's your spiritual program, pilgrimage that you are on. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. A money or business belief you had to let go of to rise to your next level.
Yeah. I think it was that I'm able to receive it but keep it. There was a pattern and a block way back for me with I think my parents that money comes and goes. And so to get past that, I've really had to work on that I'm able to receive in expected and unexpected ways that I can keep it. I
That's
went
very
through
powerful.
and yeah. I think that's the biggest thing I did around money. Yeah.
Okay, great. That's beautiful. Um, in more ways than one, because I think so many of us women have that problem where money comes in, but we're not able to hold on to it.
Yeah.
So even though we make 20, 30, 50, 100K a month, we always broke. Uh,
True.
and that is exactly it. We need to be able to openly receive money and safely hold on to it and feel safe with it. Because if your body doesn't feel safe with money, it cannot stay.
True. And it's about the masculine, the feminine. The
Yes.
feminine receives and the masculine goes after. And so it's
Yeah.
really having that balance and being able
Yes.
to keep it. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. The balance between the masculine and feminine is extremely important.
It is,
So
isn't
yes,
it?
so thank you for sharing that. If you could give one piece of advice to women scaling their business today, what would it be?
Yep. Don't get bogged down in the little stuff. Don't worry about your name, your logo, the colors, all of that sort of stuff. Really get into how you want to promote yourself because you were right. They are the asset. You said earlier, you are what you attract people. People come in because of who you are. So be more open and authentic in you when you're presenting yourself.
That's so beautiful. Okay. Um, I was going to ask you to tell the ladies about the freebie now, but that free program, but you've already done that. So that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Linda, for showing up today, and sharing so much with us. Like I said, ladies, come back and listen to this episode because if you listen to it the first time, you might skip or might not get all the value that there is in this episode. So definitely come back and listen to it again.
Yes.
I loved how you shared your manifestation and intuition on not just spiritual concepts, but practical business tools as well. And it's a part of our lives. It's a part of who we are. Our business is you. You are your business. People buy you, not, yeah. People buy you, not your business, not your name, not your logo, not your colors. They buy you and your energy, not even your programs. So I'm so grateful for you being here today. It was beautiful. For everyone listening, you'll find Linda's links in the show notes. Come connect with her. She's invited you to come and book a call with her, a session. Uh, Dive into her work and see how these tools can support you in your own business. And if you're ready to unlock your next level of wealth frequency, you can start with my activation at myriswanklubser.com/activation. Until next time, stay elevated. Thank you for tuning into Elevated Woman. If today's episode activated something in you, share it, tag me, or come say hi in the DMs. And if you're ready to go deeper, head to myriswanklubser.com to grab your free gift or explore the offers aligned with your next level. Until next time, own your power, claim your wealth, and rise as the elevated woman you came here to be.